Right now I want to talk about a really, really good blog post that I just read called The Cold Hard Truth About Starting a Business. And it's by Scott Gerber. It was actually on the Jonathan Fields blog. So if you're not familiar with any of those people, go look them up. I'm going to have a link to the actual blog post here as well. But this article was just so eye-opening, and it's something I kind of wish I had read 3 or 4 years ago before I got into entrepreneurship. Not like it wouldn't have changed my decision, but it probably would have prepared me a lot better. And the whole point of this video right now is more just to let you know about it and just add a couple of my thoughts. Basically, if I were to summarize this blog post, he's giving you a clear, a cut and dry picture of what it's like to be an entrepreneur, and he's basically coming out and telling you that it's not going to necessarily be a glamorous lifestyle like you might think with, these famous entrepreneurs you may see on TV and so on. To get to those kind of levels takes a long time. And he says that in the article, and it's true. And somebody like myself, coming out of the first 3 years of basically startup phase of a business, I can tell you that everything he says in this article is totally true. It's unbelievably difficult to make it in your own business. The persistence it requires, the frustration when you make the wrong decisions, or you waste money, or you waste time and efforts and energies. And there's days where in his article he nailed it. He said there's days where you feel like just crawling up in a corner in fetal position and giving up. But that is the life of an entrepreneur. And he's basically saying that, just be ready for it. And that's just the cold hard reality of our world. You just got to be ready for the hard knocks. But if you persist through it, and if you have the drive and what it takes to make it as an entrepreneur, it can be unbelievably rewarding, which it has been for me. And now that I'm at kind of through the first phase of my business, and I'm starting to grow now, it's a lot more exciting, and I can say that I'm definitely glad I made the decision. However, you do need to read this article if you're just getting started, because it is, like I said, very eye-opening. And then there's also some discussion in the comments of this blog from people who were kind of offended by the fact that he's really playing up entrepreneurship, and the book he's promoting is something to do with Never Get a Real Job. I believe that's the title, actually. And people were kind of offended by that, and maybe you are too. His whole stance is that you can't necessarily rely on a real job because all the efforts don't necessarily come back to you. The efforts go to the company. I hate to sit on the fence with issues, but I kind of agree and disagree, because I came from the corporate world, and no way I would have been able to do some of the things I'm doing now in my business without my corporate experience. It would have been impossible. However, there are some bad habits I picked up along the way that took me a long time to unlearn that maybe I wouldn't have had, and who knows, my entrepreneurial career might have taken off faster. So it's hard to say, but that's a whole nother discussion for another topic. But again, check this article out, and for me, leave me your thoughts on what you think about this issue, because if you are starting out, this is an important read, and I hope you enjoy it.